Hello everyone, I am Tacit, and today I'm going to be going over how to make a lot of money in original old school Runescape using a alch selling method. It is completely free to play, and you can even do it on a level 3 account, which is what we're doing right now. I ended up starting Runescape up again last week. And of course, since we're just starting off a new account, I need a lot of money, still trying to save up for a bond. There are bonds now in old school RuneScape and just in RuneScape in general, where you can actually buy membership without even needing to spend any money. So that is one of our goals here. So today we're going to be going over alch selling. As you can see, this guy over here, he's using high alchemy. What this does is it ends up converting a item into gold. And there's actually a way that we can do this at any level without needing any magic, and it can do it even quicker than the method that he's doing, though it is a little bit risky. What we do is buy a lot of very cheap items from the Grand Exchange, things that can't be high alch. Things that he's high alching right now are items way in the thousands that are actually worth it. The main reason for this is for every single high alch, he will require one nature rune, so he's losing this much money approximately every single time he does it. Well, technically he's not losing because he's gaining money from every single one that he's alching, but he has to pay out this much for every single one that he wishes to do. So that's not good. We're going to skip right past that. Of course, he's getting magic EXP, but we want more money than that. So what we're going to do is buy all the cheaper items, things that are not actually worth high alching. Every single item in the entire game of RuneScape has 3 prices. They have their Grand Exchange price. This is what most people know every single item to be worth. But there are also 2 additional prices that every single item has, and it are these 2. A low alchemy. This you get whenever you sell it to a standard marketplace. You also get this when you use the low alchemy spell on an item, which you should never ever do because it's not worth it in any instance. And that's how you get the low alchemy. But of course, when there's a high alchemy, why would you want to do a low alchemy? So high alchemy, there are a couple ways that we can do this. One of the main ways is what this guy over here is doing, which is just high alching it with a magic spell. Unfortunately, this costs 1 nature rune every single time. And as you can see with this item, since its high alch value is only 100 and a nature rune is a couple hundred, this would never be worth using high alch on. But there is another method that we can do, which will still get us this high alch value, or at least most of it in many instances, but it won't actually cost us any nature runes, and we can do multiple at once. So there is a shop in the wilderness, I believe it's the only place in free-to-play, where we can actually sell every single item in the entire game for an high alch price. Of course, if we try selling multiple to a single shop, it will be going a little bit lower in value, but we will be switching worlds a bunch to be able to negate this. So let's go and start heading on our path to head there. First, let me go and actually bring up real quick a timer right over here. And let's get this timer going. We'll time it right from when we leave the Grand Exchange, right about now. That's pretty much leaving the Grand Exchange. So let's see how much it takes to get for one run. To be able to do this, you can bring basically any equipment you want. Something that would be pretty useful if you actually have the magic for it is to bring a Varrock teleport of 1 fire rune, 3 air, and 1 law, because you can just teleport at 20 wildy to get out. This place is located at a 23 wildy, and it is a multi-combat zone, so do be pretty careful with it. Normally you don't want to bring too huge of a stack. We'll just dismiss that man. Currently, we are bringing a relatively mid-range. I think we're doing about 200k, yeah, 193k right now. Nothing too large. If we end up losing this, it's not really going to make or break the bank. Of course, if you have a lot less money than that, one good thing that you can actually do is gold necklaces. Get a bunch of gold bars, which are... well, you can see right here, if we do a price check of 1 of each, you can buy gold bars right now for 85. I think I paid actually 88 for mine when I got them, but that was back when they were like 91. They're actually going down a lot for some reason, but you can make gold necklaces, and gold necklaces have a high alch of 240, if I am not mistaken. So if you just need that, that's how you can get a lot of starting money if you really need to. That's actually where most of my crafting EXP came from, because it's the most profitable gold item in the entire game. or at least for free to play. But anyways, we'll just go all the way over here. When we end up going into the wilderness, make sure no one sees you actually go in, especially if you're a level 3. They might come with you on one of their PKing accounts and just kind of go and try attacking you. Normally, you want to go to pretty inactive worlds. We will actually be hopping to every single world in all of free to play, other than the what are they called? The skill worlds, because there's 2 skill worlds, one of 500 and the other of 750, that we won't really be able to do, because even though this is kind of like a little bit of a skiller account, still pretty new. Of course, I said I just started this like 6 days ago, this account, and haven't really got far on it, as you can see. Mainly just trying to make money right now, and then I can worry about actually getting everything up. Also, I just noticed that my timer's a little blocked right there. Let's see if I can fix that real quick. Let's see. Let's move that right over there, and there we go. Now it's not blocked, but we'll just head right up over here. And there are shopkeepers here too that sell a bunch of capes. We will want to fill up our inventory with a bunch of stuff whenever we end up leaving. One thing to note about my food here too. There's 3 key equipment things that we kind of need. Our food and our armor here are 2 of them, and of course the rest are all of the items. What we kind of need here is, at least for efficiency, is a amulet of, oops, wrong one, a amulet of defense. This will help us out a lot. Gives 7 to all defensive stats in case anyone tries to kill us. We'll be pretty defensive in that regard. It's a little bit all well-rounded. I'm wearing more towards mage defensive, mainly because at this level range, the highest thing that could possibly hit us is some kind of mage using bolts and stuff like that. So I want to have more mage protection than anything else. So right over here, we'll just want to run. We can actually die here if they end up max hitting us like crazy. I believe their max hits are 3, but you can normally get by without really even getting hit at all, which I believe we're about to do right now. Oh, there's actually a bandit one right in there. That's a little bit annoying. Let's just bait them out. Oh, fail. The fail is strong. The fail is very strong. Let's see, just move there. Actually click the closed door so we don't accidentally get that wrong. And there we go. So, remember the square shield earlier? Well, if we go over here, check its value price, we will get... actually, let's sell the shield first. And then, hello, why you not sell? Does it really want us to clear out our inventory before we can trade? Really? But if we go over and sell our 1 square shield, you can see it'll give us exactly that 100G I was talking about, which is the high elk price. Of course, we'll want to get rid of 5 at a time. Just wanted to do the 1 to show that it does give the 500. And now we just do 5 at a time for every single one of these items. And we will start racking up quite a bit of cash here. Of course, you'll just want to buy as many items as you possibly can that will give you profit doing this, which is pretty much almost every item in the entire game that are of low value. There are higher value ones that you can do, but normally you don't, because high alchers, like that guy that we saw at the Grand Exchange, are doing them. These ones that we have less copies of will want to sell for 1. Whenever you sell only 1, you'll get the full high alch value of it. And now that we have filled up the shop completely, we will now just want to switch worlds and keep doing this. You may have noticed that there was an iron plate body there. This is mainly because someone else is doing this right now. So keep that in mind. There are other people that do this. I normally don't see PKers here. That's not something I've actually really seen whenever I come here. I have had noobs try to attack me here. I don't know why they've ever been here. But the most PK free-to-play builds get up to the low 20s to mid 20s, and you can normally just run down a few levels and just completely negate them, and you don't really have to worry about PKers. Though, of course, if you're a higher level, do be really careful. This is a multi-zone. If some kind of PKer team does come here for whatever reason, they can easily kill you, and of course you would lose pretty much everything you have. So do keep that in mind, but we'll just keep hopping worlds, do this over and over again. I will put its timestamp right about here if you want to skip all the way to the end of all of our selling. Of course, right now, all we're going to basically be doing is hopping between every single free-to-play world and doing all of the selling that we are currently doing. So we'll just see how much time this takes. That's why I have the timer at the bottom, so we can kind of see how much we could really do out of this per hour. And yeah. So we're just gonna keep repeating all these, get all 5s. Make sure you don't accidentally misclick one of them. You do not want to sell 10. There's a specific reason why we're only selling 5 at most. Because the more you sell to the shop, the less you'll actually be able to make from it. So we'll want to do as little as possible. Every single minute, the shops will refresh. I believe that's on a global timer between all worlds. So by the time we get back to our initial world, we should be completely ready to sell, or there might only be like a short waiting period. Of course, if you have had the 750 skills or higher, I believe you will be able to do this without any downtime between any of them. But because we're doing it this way, there might be like a minute or two of downtime, but not too bad. We'll just sell all these. You can see our cash stack is already getting pretty big, and we haven't really gone through even a fourth of this stuff yet. So just keep selling it all out. Of course, it is good to bring backup teleports and stuff like that. Unfortunately, there aren't teleport tabs in free-to-play, and the cheapest instant teleport you can get it requires 25 magic in free-to-play, so not something we can really do. Oops, did I just go to a world I already just sold in? There are sometimes people who do sell in these, but it's not too often. I don't really see too many people really using this method at the moment. Of course, this method will always work, even if there are other people doing it. Yeah, this is me twice. I just accidentally went to the wrong world. Fail. But there are some other people that end up using this method. Oh gosh, why do we leave bandits in here? I hate when they do that. Well, let's let this bandit out so we don't need to worry about it later. There we go. Oh, I went tile too far. Bandit, please. Normally, there aren't bandits in here. Normally, people are courteous enough to leave the bandits out. But of course, higher levels really don't care if bandits are in there. But of course, as a level 3, we care very much if there is a level 20-something bandit in there trying to kill us. So, yeah, just bring the bandits out. You might want to right-click the door. You saw a couple times, like especially that initial time, I accidentally clicked out, walked out, and kind of got even more damage that I didn't need to take. We're currently actually using wines as food right now. The main reason for this is they're so cheap. They heal for 11, which at our HP is, of course, a full heal, and they only cost 3G each. You can actually get them for 1G each in Draenor, one of the shops there. So really, really easy to accumulate a lot of them, and it doesn't take out of your profit at all whatsoever. So, yeah, we're 1/4 of the way done. Just keep going through the worlds, and yeah. That's how much money we've already gotten from this, and it's just going to keep going, and we'll be making a pretty good sum from that. We're making at least double. You could potentially make triple depending on how the market is, and if you actually make some of these yourselves, because technically I am actually making more towards triple my money on this, mainly because I did make some of these items, like pretty much all the gold stuff I ended up just crafting myself. So we're actually making quite a bit more money than that. But of course, if you buy directly, it's not going to take out too much from your profit. I'm sure it was an easier way to sell all these. Like, you clicked sell 5 all at once. But we'll just go through them one at one time. Still pretty good money. Before we leave, we will want to stock up on a bunch of either pastry dough or one of the 2 cape areas. I normally don't do the pastry dough, but it does sell a lot quicker than the capes. The capes normally sell for a little bit more money than the pastry dough does, though. So I normally just do the capes. More money's more money. It doesn't really matter too much if it sells a little bit slower. But yeah, we're almost through our very first cycle, and we've already hit past our basically 125k at this moment. So doing pretty good in that regard. Just keep selling, and we'll get all the way through. I'm mainly doing this completely live just so you can see specifically the amount of time that this does indeed take. There are wilderness worlds that you might want to go into. I normally don't see these as any dangerous as any other world. For some reason, even in wilderness worlds, this place doesn't seem to be that active. I don't know if member worlds over here are a little bit more active, because there is a hole right there that can actually bring you directly here. But I know in free-to-play, I rarely ever see anyone come here. And if they do, they're either not by my level or they're completely noob and don't pose any threat at all. They have like a max hit of like 4 or 5, which won't really do anything to us since we can just heal constantly for full heal with 10 HP. But yeah, we're almost through our first cycle. Just 2 more worlds. World 8, which is the most active free-to-play wilderness. So, of course, always be aware. Be ready always to go for that logout. If not, be ready to spam that food. Always keep run on. Always really good to keep your run on, because you may, if you need to get out in a pinch, be able to do that. Also, if you happen to be using a teleport tab or just a teleport in general, make sure you can click that quickly too in case you want to run down a bit and then go for that teleport in 20 wildy. 20 wildy isn't that far. We're actually in 23 right now. This entire shop is in 23, except for the very top tile, which is in 24 wildy. So keep that in mind when looking at levels and stuff like that. Sell that, and we're almost done with our very first cycle then. And you can see we're almost already at the 193k that we started with. So it does look like this will be more towards a double. Of course, if you spend a little bit more and get the right items, you can actually go for even more than that. I'm pretty sure in a members world, once you finally get a bond, there'll be even more options. Of course, we're a little bit limited with being in a free-to-play world. Of course, there's also a 125 limit on many of these items that we are buying, mainly these weapons like the coifs, the hard bodies, stuff like that. So keep that in mind. You may want to buy it throughout the entire week, and then maybe on the weekend come here and try selling all of them and just flipping them for at least double cash. And then we can just go back to the first world, and it should be pretty much done. The timer's here, or completely done. So we'll go and, where'd he go? I hate that he's so dark. It's sometimes hard to see exactly where he is. And as you can see, it has completely refreshed. So we can just keep going back, go through it, and there we go. We'll be able to sell all this on cycle without wasting any time. Sometimes there is a little bit of a wait period, especially if you go with a smaller inventory. There's definitely going to be a wait period, like if you only bring like 10 different items. I do advise bringing a full inventory, though, of course, be careful not to bring anything too expensive because you don't want to lose them. That's why you may notice, like, the best thing we even have here is, like, steel equipment. You want to keep it fairly cheap as you can possibly can while still optimizing your profit. Unless you want to play it dangerous, then you could go for pure profit. But then if you die even once, then you're losing a pretty big chunk out of that. I haven't even come close to dying here yet, though, on this level 3, so... for the most part, I found it to be pretty safe, but, you know, always be careful. It's not like they can actually see how much money you have, but if they did know how much money you had, they definitely want to go for you. Going for at least 300k by the end of this. They definitely want to try to get a piece of that. But yeah, this method overall can make anywhere from about 50,000 if you're doing very, very low with like no risk. Up to probably about 500,000, if not more, per hour. Of course, it doesn't give any kind of EXP, but it can make quite a bit of bank if you can find the right items. And what's really good about it is this method will pretty much always work because high alchers can't buy these items, and you can just sell literally any item in the entire game that is within the range of being profitable from this. So you have a wide variety of items to choose from, and once you finally get a bond, that will just like more than quadruple the amount of items that you could actually try doing this method with. So it goes pretty smoothly. But yeah, we'll see at the end of this how much we actually make. We're currently at I actually haven't timed how long this takes specifically. We'll find out with that timer on the bottom at the end of this. It looks like it's going to take around 20 minutes though by the timer, which means we could probably do this around 3 times in an hour if we already have all the equipment bought, which you can just do during the week. If you're maybe working or something, you can just spend like 30 minutes every day just doing it throughout the week. Or if you have school or college or anything, just do it during the week, and then on the weekend just sell them all here, and you wouldn't have any downtime, and you'd easily be able to do this you can easily, without a shadow of a doubt, do this twice per hour. But you could probably get away with doing it 3 times per hour if you get really quick at like just clicking all of these. I haven't been doing this for too long, so I'm still a little bit slow at clicking these. And you saw that little bit of a mistake we made at the beginning there, but not too big a deal. Not too big a deal at all. Let's see. As long as we don't die, that's fine. As long as we don't actually die here with all this money, we should be good. I almost feel like making an anti account in case anyone ever rushes me here, just so they could kill any of them. Like I'd probably make like a level 30 something and just have it there, just so in case someone ends up coming for us, we can actually defend ourselves. I don't know for sure if I'm going to bother doing that. Almost seems like a waste of time because I haven't found anyone really doing that. But if this method ever really gets more used, like you saw someone doing iron plate bodies there earlier. But if this ever really starts to get really, really popular for whatever reason, it's definitely going to be a little bit more dangerous to execute, and the profit would probably go down because we may die like every couple of hours trying to do it. But just keep trading. We're at our last little quarter of equipment right here. Need to do 4 more worlds after this, and we're good to go. It's always good to have at least one that you can sell one on. Of course, whenever we sell one, we're actually getting the full high alch value for it. And one thing to note about that is if you have at least one item that is designated for that, you always know how many more world hops you will need. So you can see right now that we need 4 more world hops because that's how many of all of our one items we have left. So that's kind of just a really good way to just use a timer for how many more worlds you need if you just like having it all organized and everything. But yeah, just have to do this the last 4 times. And then just not die, bringing all of our money back to our bank. And you can see we're already a solid 100k above what we were already at, and we have only used about not even 20 minutes yet. And this was from the Grand Exchange. You could even go from Edgeville, you'd be even closer. I don't know exactly how that whole works in members, but I'm pretty sure if you got a bond and became a member and tried figuring out how that whole works, I honestly don't know at all. I haven't played this game for 7 years and haven't been a member for much of it, so that whole may be even quicker method of doing this. So keep that in mind if you can figure out how that works. So that might actually be even quicker. I'm talking about that hole right there, that inconspicuous hole that says hard on it. Not quite sure how hard it is to build, but it would definitely speed this up, I'm pretty sure, since it would literally come right here. You wouldn't even need to walk or anything. And of course, if you remember, you could also use a teleport tab, but still works perfectly fine for a level 3 free-to-play. That's literally what we're on right now. We have no combat stats whatsoever. No skills are even required for this that you need to get up. It has literally a minimum of 1 everything. All you need is to have items to actually sell here, and you're good to go. Just bring a little bit of defensive equipment like we did, just in case someone does attack you, so you can live. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, so let's trade this guy 2 more times. We are in a wilderness world right now, the more popular one, but as you can see, even though we've been here 2 times, we haven't seen a single person. Actually, we haven't seen a single person in any of these worlds at all, even in the 2 wilderness worlds, so or in World 1. So a pretty safe area, at least at this current moment of the game. Of course, keep in mind, I don't know if this will ever be more populated area. I don't know if it's more populated in members. Just kind of started doing this about 2 days ago, and I've been using this to make all of my money for all of my accounts. Right now I'm working on a defense pier again. Used to have a defense summoning pier back in the day when that was actually possible, but now I'm kind of trying to rebuild a defense pier from scratch. So he kind of needs money because defense pier is one of the most expensive builds I think that you can really make. I don't think there's anything more expensive really than that, unless you're going for like a max account, which of course also I can just sell all on these. Why am I trying to aim at 5? But yeah, we can just sell all the last of these out. Doesn't matter exactly what we click as long as we sell all of them. And yep, there we go. Get all of these out, and now we will want to go and buy a bunch of capes real quick. So let's just talk to Neil right here. Of course, you can also buy a bunch of pastry dough stuff from him. Let's see, which one do we go for? Let's go for 10 of these, 10 of these, and how about a little bit more of these? I haven't bothered trying to sell those yet. I don't even know what their price range is. Also, you may notice that we're not being attacked right now. They do become passive after a certain amount of time. I don't know exactly what that amount of time is. I think it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I think it's 15 minutes, but you can see they're completely passive. They don't even bother attacking us anymore. These capes sell for a little bit of money. They don't actually sell for how much those values say. Normally I sell them for around the 300 to 400 range. They may be even lower in the future if you're trying to do this, but I normally sell it somewhere around there. If they're ever too low, there's a shop over here. There's also a random wandering one that's actually worth quite a bit, but I rarely ever see it at that location. It kind of wanders through wilderness and occasionally comes into that area. And if it's ever there, you can make quite a bit of profit because most of those capes are worth like 800 or something, which is a lot more. And they actually sell at those values too, or at least at this current moment. Mainly because it's a little bit harder to find, because in every world it likes to travel around and it's not always as easy to kind of spot down. Well, let's walk a little bit in case we do somehow find someone at like a level 1. Like, let's maybe just be someone right here that'll try killing us. Well, I think we can actually run the rest. I don't think there'd be anyone here. We can already see the home stretch, and yeah, there we go. So we made it back safely with our money. And yeah, we end up making quite a bit of bank right there. Nearly made 200k, around 170k gain right there for only, we'll count the time as soon as we head to the bank. So let's just get right up to the bank and then we'll call it time. So in 21 minutes and about 35 seconds or so, it looks like. So let's just stop the timer, and there. So we made it back to the bank in that much time, 21 minutes and 36 seconds. So yeah, you can easily do this without a shadow of a doubt. You would be able to do this in this method in twice per hour. So that means we could easily make at least 300k profit per hour doing this method, which is one of the highest methods I currently know of. Actually, that's literally the highest method that I currently know of, and I figured I'd share it because there's not too many ways to make money in free-to-play. There's a few dozen, like doing cow hides or making sapphire rings and buying runes and buying other items from shops and stuff. But this is personally my favorite. It has that little bit of that risk factor. It makes quite a bit of money. You even get additional items that you can sell for more. And on a level 3 account, I found it to be relatively safe. Of course, that may not always be the case. But with this kind of equipment, we're pretty defensive. Any single person that tries to kill us won't really be able to kill us on this level 3. Though if we do get ganked by multiple, we're as good as dead because they can easily just each hit their max and then we die instantly. But anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions, or maybe if I left something important out that you may want to leave as information that I may have not gone over in this, feel free to leave that in the chat as well. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching and have a wonderful day.